Hey guys, it's Dr. Travis McDermott, Vegas Vet here for another episode. Today's video we're going to talk about getting the best and most out of your visit to the vet. So whether it's a preventative exam, your pet is sick, you're in for a procedure, anything like that, we want to get we want the best visit for you for your pet. Okay, so these are just some tips that I have from experience and what I've gone through to try to get you the best visit possible. Okay, first of all is going to be show up on time. We're going to talk a little bit about running behind here in a little bit with our side of things, but it helps us a lot not to do that if you're on time. Just like any doctor's appointment, to be on time, we need to shoot to be, probably 5 to 10 minutes early to fill out paperwork, everything done, so that we can get you in a room and get the most information from you and do a good job. Okay. 2, when you come into the vet's office, please make sure that your dog is on a leash, your cat's in a carrier, your small dog's in a carrier, something to where you're restraining your pet. Your dog or cat may be usually very good off leash or not restrained, but things change when you go to a vet's hospitals. Okay, every single one of us got into being a vet because we love animals. Then we find out that oftentimes animals don't love to come see us. It's not just us, it's the environment. It's the other dogs, it's the sounds, it's the smells. So, trying to do the best job possible, it's tough sometimes because they're already on edge, but that's another good reason to make sure that they're restrained so that there's no incidences, because the last thing we want is for you to come in for vaccines and leave with a dog bite. Okay. The best advice I can give you overall is be prepared. Know what you're coming in for. Know that for any visit, whether it's going to be a routine visit, it's going to be a sick pet visit, whatever, we're going to ask certain questions. We're going to want to know, have they been eating? Are they drinking okay? Are they drinking a little? Are they drinking a lot? What are their bathroom habits? Is there any vomiting or coughing or diarrhea? These are questions that we're going to ask you every single time. So know them. You know what's going on. A lot of people don't know on the spot, but maybe before you go in, think about these things and know, because the better information that you can give us, the better we can do a job of telling you what's going on with your pet and giving you solid recommendations. Other things, if you come into the clinic and you're coming here for a problem with your pet, maybe it's limping, maybe it's coughing, maybe it's got diarrhea or vomiting, important things. Know how long it's been going on, okay? Know how often it's going on in a day. Know when it goes on. Does it go on in the morning? Does it go on at night? These things that are all very helpful for us to know, kind of give you the best idea of what is going on with your pet, okay? Next portion, besides the history taking, which is where we're going to get that information, is the physical exam. So we're actually going to look at your pet. Everybody does it a little bit different, but most of us start from the front and work our way back. We do that so that we can do the same exam every single time, and we can not miss anything. So we're going to start at the mouth, teeth, look at the eyes, look at the ears, go back, listen to the heart, listen to the lungs. As we're doing that, looking at the skin and feel the belly, and make sure that there's nothing else going on with the joints. Feel for lymph nodes. So that's what we're going to look at. So as we're doing that, if there's something that you know about, point it out to us. I mean, we're not perfect. Maybe there's a small bump that you want us to look at. It's possible that we miss it. So we try to be very thorough, but point it out to us. Say, hey, can you check this out? That way you want to be proactive about the care of your pet, because we want what's best for your pet and you want that, but we need you sometimes as a partner in helping us out with it to do the best job possible. So the next thing is going to be recommendations after that. So after we look at your pet, we listen to what's going on with the history, we're going to want to give you some recommendations, okay? Know that when you go into a vet's office, we're going to give you the best recommendations we can based on the information. So what you've told us, what we've seen, okay? We're not doing this to ring up the bill. We're not trying to do that. Vets are, we're just trying to figure out what's going on. So if your dog comes in for vomiting, there's probably like 1,000 things that can cause that. So we try to rule that out and get that number down lower with our physical exam and our history, but oftentimes we're going to need blood work or x-rays or both to tell us what's going on, if there's anything going on. It may be nothing, but we're going to make a recommendation what we think is best, okay? That's not what you have to do. You shouldn't feel guilty if you can't afford to do that or you don't want to do that. It's a partnership between us and you, okay? We're going to give you recommendations, and then you're going to tell us what you want to do. And ask questions. It's super important. Ask questions the whole way. we are guided very much so by your questions so that we know what you know and you don't know. Maybe we explained something well, so maybe we didn't, and so the only way that we're going to do it well is if you help us out. So ask questions. The same thing goes for treatments. Be vocal. If you don't think you're going to be able to get a pill in your dog twice a day, tell us. There's other options. Maybe it's an antibiotic, there's an injection available that you don't have to do that. It may be a little more expensive, but if we're not getting the medication or the treatments in, it's not going to fix the problem. And so none of us are achieving the goal that we want. So, that comes into the help us help you do a good job. So let us know. Don't be afraid to say, hey, my dog is difficult or my cat's difficult to get meds in. Do you have any suggestions? Maybe we can show you, but maybe we can come up with another option. The last portion, that I always like to talk to people about is, I've asked you to be on time. Dr. McDermott, sometimes you're running behind. I generally try to run on time as much as possible, but most vets' offices this is going to be applicable. Okay, we try our best to be on time. Our number one, there's actually two major reasons why we are running behind sometimes. First of all is going to be veterinary medicine's crazy. You just don't know what's going to happen. Today we had a dog that came in that needed a C-section all of a sudden, and then we had one that had stones in the bladder that came in. We had one that was really, really sick and needed to be attention paid to it. So we're generally going to address the emergencies first. Even if you have an appointment, we know that if it was your pet and they came in and it got hit in my car, you'd want us to take care of that before we went into someone else's room to do vaccines. So that's tough. That gets us behind sometimes. The other thing is that veterinarians are traditionally very bad at saying no to people. We're people pleasers. We want to make people happy. We want to try to help you with your animals. So generally where we run into problems is that we have people that come in, and we've probably all done our time again, and we make an appointment for one dog and we bring in 3. Or we make an appointment for our cat for vaccines, and then we come in and it's been vomiting for 10 days. These are the things these unexpected things that happen are the things that make us run behind. We had a 15-minute slot scheduled for doing vaccines and talking about that. And, your cat's been vomiting for 10 days. It's going to take longer than that to work it up, which pushes us behind. Now, sometimes there's some people who would say, oh, I can't see that appointment now because that's not what it's scheduled for. But like I said, veterinarians, we don't do that. We generally try to help everybody, and in the end, it tends to push us behind a little bit. But we try very hard to be on time. So that's where, if you see that, that's what happens. And then, it's always taken into account that there are some clinics that don't do appointments only. Some clinics do walk-ins only. Some clinics do both. We happen to be one that does both. So we think it's very important that if your pet's sick or you decide on the spur of the moment that you want to do vaccines on your pet, you can come in. We'll see you. You just have to understand that we're going to take care of the people that have appointments first, and then we're going to try to get to the walk-ins, okay? But we have 2 rooms that are specifically designed and set aside for walk-ins, and usually 2 doctors that are set aside to see them. So we kind of separate that so it doesn't affect the appointments as much as possible. We can still address those important walk-ins. So we just think it's important to have that aspect there. It does make things a little crazier at times, but it's worth it for us to make sure that we get your pet taken care of. So these are the tips that I would recommend when you go into your vet's office. The most important out of all of them is be your pet's advocate. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. We love questions. There are no stupid questions, and that is really true, because you need to understand what's going on, and if we're not explaining things as well as we should, or we need to explain it in a different way, we need to know that. So that's my homework for all of you guys, is next time you go to the vet, be prepared for what with the information on your pet, and ask questions to make sure we give you the best possible information. So this has been another episode of Dr. Travis McDermott, Vegas Vet. Hopefully it was informative for you. If it was, like and share it with your friends, and we'll also be on YouTube, so you can subscribe to us and get more like that. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.